Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Overwatch news. First up today, I wanted to talk about surrender in Overwatch. It's not an option that's currently in the game, but it's one that's been discussed for quite some time. If the match isn't going well, if your team's getting stomped, some people would like the option to just surrender and move on to the next game. Now, this is something that has been officially addressed in the past. Jeff Kaplan in July of last year talked about this, saying that they do not currently agree that the game needs a surrender option, especially with the quick match lengths. He did say, though, that we'll keep monitoring the situation, but right now there are no plans to add a surrender option. Now again, this was in July of 2016, and the reason we're bringing it up in today's news video is because it was just recently readdressed by Blizzard. There was a post that was requesting the surrender option once again for competitive play, and Blizzard's lead software engineer Bill Warneck responded with this: "Surrender has been suggested a few times in the past, and while we don't want to add it at this time, we're always watching for feedback like yours and re-evaluating our choice." Now, they could have quite simply decided not to address this, period, and the fact that Bill Warneck decided to officially address this leads me to believe that it is something, as he states, that they continue to re-evaluate and consider. Now, do I expect a surrender option to come into the game anytime soon? No, probably not. There's a whole host of reasons, and really it's a matter of philosophy as to whether or not competitive games have surrender. Now, on one hand, what you could say is that having the surrender option obviously, again, has that benefit of if a match isn't going well, then you can just say, all right, congratulations guys, we're raising the white flag, you beat us, good job, you're the better player here, we're moving on to the next game. But there's also the side of the argument that the option to surrender can cause people to give up early. It could also increase toxicity if some people want to surrender, the rest of the team says no, and then the people who requested to surrender have to keep playing out the rest of the match because their teammates said no, we don't want to leave, and then they're going to be pissed off. They already have clearly stated that they want this match to be over. So there's pros and cons to either side of the equation, and it's a really interesting topic, and I wanted to get your guys' take on it. How do you feel about the potential of a surrender option in Overwatch? Is it something that you would like in the game, or would you like it to stay as is with no option to surrender whatsoever? And as Jeff Kaplan said about a year ago, you know, it is true, the game times are really short, so maybe that is a reason enough not to have surrender in this game. Next up, I wanted to talk about the idea of updating hero roles. This is something else that seems to be brought up fairly often in the community. You've got a hero like Symmetra in support, who many would argue should probably be a defense hero. Or I've seen a lot of conversation recently about the fact that Sombra, in many ways, due to her kit, is actually a support hero. People have claimed that Blizzard should update these hero roles. Well, Bill Warnock once again came out talking about this issue, stating that this comes up every so often. Jeff shared some thoughts on a recent video with Wired that you may want to check out. And so as a quick recap, basically what Jeff said in the video about the idea of updating hero roles was that they only initially even added the role categories as a way to make it easier for new players to digest what heroes may or may not do, essentially. So rather than seeing a huge roster of 24 heroes with no separation whatsoever the first time they jump in the game, they can see, okay, these guys are tanks, these guys are supports, these guys are attackers, these guys are defenders, and it breaks it up and gives it them a little bit of a clearer picture as to what the hero's kind of role that they fill is. So it's not meant to be this specific rigid thing with certain requirements. In fact, Jeff even said in the clip that Torbjorn was initially almost going to go into the support role because he brought utility to the team with his armor packs. It's nothing that's rigid, and what I get from this essentially is that Jeff is saying, no, we're not going to update hero roles because frankly they don't really matter. They're just important for the new player experience experience, and even that only matters for what, the first few days to a week, until the players start to suss out and figure out what each of the heroes are and what they do. It's not a strict requirement thing. It's nothing that they even value all that much from what we could tell here. So that was really interesting to know. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. I am in the middle of moving my recording space. If you guys are wondering why this video might sound a little weird, one, it's because I'm still recovering from my illness, but two, it's because I'm in between recording places, so I'm not recording in kind of my ideal environment. But that should be changing in the next day or two once we finally get this move all sorted out. Thanks for your patience, guys. All right, everyone, that does it for me here today. Hope you all have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.